Whenever you're ready to be bold, it's time for Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor. Call 337-404-1703. Find them on Facebook or book your appointment through Vagaroo. Whether it's a beautiful cut, the perfect color, or just a fresh update, Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor has you covered. They're right behind Domino's in Leesville at 1614 South 5th Street. And remember, be good to your hair. You wear it every single day. That's Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor in Leesville. Call 337-404-1703 today.
Let's be honest, you don't want to spend money in a business that smells like an armpit or a dipsty dumpster. Here at Leesville Tattoo, we keep the shop smelling great with the help of Christie's candles. They're so strong, we rarely light them. We just open the lids and let them do their magic. Do your nose and your company a favor. Open some of Christie's candles around your place and make living peaceful a priority. Christie's candles available exclusively at Leesville Tattoos.
Carrie Joe Photoco is the only choice when you're serious about preserving those special moments that only happen once in a lifetime. Weddings, engagements, graduations, grand openings, organizations, and events. Carrie Joe Photoco are the professionals. Need your event filmed? At Carrie Joe Photoco, it's not a problem. With hundreds of special events, thousands of painstaking creative hours, and millions of beautiful moments and memories captured, Carrie Joe Photoco has all the experience you require when nothing less than the best will do. 337-591-1748. 337-591-1748. Carrie Joe Photoco on social media and kmphotoandfilm.com. Don't wait till it's too late to preserve your moment forever with Carrie Joe Photoco. 337-591-1748 and kmphotoandfilm.com. That's Carrie Joe Photoco.
Hey y'all, it's Carrie Jo, and welcome to The Truth Serum. Life is loud, messy, and a little crazy sometimes, and too often it feels like nobody's really hearing us. Like we're talking, but the world's not listening. On top of that, we're surrounded by negativity that tears us down when what we really need is more honesty, more support, and more real conversations that lift us up. So that's what we're doing here. The subjects that feel too dark or off limits, we're talking about them. Those uncomfortable moments you found yourself in and thought, I can't be the only one, we're talking about it. The dangerous, the taboo, the things people would rather sweep under the rug, we're talking about those too. Unfiltered, unashamed, unapologetic, and authentic. This is where the truth lives and where we can finally say the things we've been holding back. So pull up a chair, hit play, and let's talk about it on The Truth Serum with Carrie Jo.
There we go.
Magical it is, but we're doing it. Hey, welcome back into Leesville Tattoos and Views. Got one heck of a show for you this evening. Josh running a little bit late, but Lee's here, Mary's here, and we have our representative, Mr. Charles Chuck Owen, with us this evening again. Mr. Chuck, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I had a good time last time, and hope I do better this time.
Oh, you did great. Fine.
You did great. Yeah.
Mary, how are you this evening?
Good. It was a long day.
Oh, yeah. I could see you were busy over there.
Yeah, this was the first time in a long time somebody's hair just wasn't cooperating.
Kind of like mine.
Yeah.
I told you should have swept it up so you could glue it on top of my head, and I'd have some more hair. It seems to be growing out of my nose and my back more than it should.
That's what I tell my husband. If you had the hair you had everywhere else on your body up top,
right,
you'd be doing good.
Lee, how are things in the tattoo world?
It's picking up.
I was about to say, you've been busy this week.
It's been, yeah.
Or you made it look busy.
Yeah. I'm good at looking busy. It
So
slows.
are you an artist yourself, or do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you will contract out people too, right?
Right. I grew up in foreign countries where I didn't speak the language, couldn't watch TV, so I had Sergeant Rock comic books and Spider-Man, and drawing, doodling was always a way for me to entertain myself, and it just never stopped.
Same. I just paint hair these days.
Just paint hair.
Yeah.
Josh, what's happening?
Josh is here.
Josh made it. He has been rebuilding a restaurant.
Wait a minute. I thought you were going to go home and shower. You didn't?
You ain't got time.
All right. Yeah.
But I washed most of it off.
Okay. All right.
A liquid nail never hurt nobody.
By the way, Josh, that's Carolyn. Carolyn. Yeah. All right. So, well, look, I'm gonna scoot out of the way and let the folks that know what they're talking about talk. But Josh, I don't even pull your mic up there. I don't even.
Hello, everybody.
I don't even need to ask how your days have been going
No,
because
it's horrible, man. Look, pro tip: whenever you're doing Formica and you're putting liquid nails on anything, wear gloves.
Oh, yeah. You get
That's a pro
stuck to
tip.
things.
Yeah, it gets stuck to you.
You got sticky hands.
Yeah.
that's nice. Well, Mr. Chuck, how are you, sir, and how have you been? We've gone around the table now.
Man, I've been fine. We are on the backside of a great holiday season. It was one of the most restful that I can remember in a long time.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful. Our grandkids came in for a few days, and that was easy. And then we stepped through Christmas and New Year very simply. We didn't do anything exciting or busy. It was just spectacular. And Carolyn took care of me and nursed my I don't say my wounds, but she let me get charged up. She
Yeah,
helped me
yeah.
get charged up, and
You need that once in a while.
I'm ready to go bear hunting with a switch now.
Come back
What are you
and
Let's
feeding?
go.
ready.
What are you feeding this guy?
That's not
right?
ambitious, right? Yeah, man. I tell you what, that's awesome. All right, so last time you were here, we were talking about CCS. So I guess we should start there, and just if you can kind of let us know where things are at with this now.
Well, I would say structurally and legally they're where they were when we talked last time because
Oh,
there's
same.
yeah there's no laws that could have been passed between now and then. So right now we continue in the same debate over the utility of it, and I would say over the course of the last month, what we've done is myself and other legislators have been finishing up legislation we're going to offer up in March to try to change the paradigm that we're in right now. And so some of those bills were filed a couple of days ago. One of my colleagues in Alexandria dropped 3 very big ones.
Oh, nice.
And I've got several that I am working on that will hopefully help. So that's really what's changed is not much, a lot of discussion. Now, I have over the course of the last year been forced to learn more and more and more and more about this stuff. So I would say my knowledge base has increased a little bit over the last month. The things that I have learned and data calls that I have sent out to agencies and organizations have come back. A lot of what I do as a lawmaker is not. I don't disclose it because I would say it is at the moment it is preliminary, but me gathering data that I'll be able to use in official capacity has just been going on and on and on.
Right, and I think what more people are looking for is not necessarily any kind of anything other than honesty is what we're looking for, and I think that's why everybody kind of calls you and asks you what's going on with it and what you think about it, because people just want to know if it wasn't shoved down our throats at such a fast pace, and they didn't try to just ice this over and just be like, here, it's already passed, just
You
accept
have
it.
to go with it, yeah.
You got to go with it. This is a Green New Deal crap that was left over from, bygone years led by Democrats that were left over from previous administrations or even Republicans that are getting rich off of this stuff. It's like we just want to be in the know and in the now and know what it is and an honest to God truth of what actually is going on. And that's basically what I think American people deserve to hear.
Well, I appreciate that, and I can assure you I don't have a lying skill.
Right.
It's like,
and
I
I appreciate
promise.
that about you.
I don't have a lying skill. This is a true story. When I first went in the Air Force, I was at my first formal training up in Denver, Colorado. It was going in the intelligence business, and within that, I volunteered to become a spy, to become a human intelligence officer collector. And so I went in for the interview on that, and I failed.
Really?
That's
They
good.
said, you stutter and you can't lie.
That's
He
good.
said
So there's no way you can be here.
this is honest
So
Abe we
anyway,
have.
the honesty is what I have. I can promise you. I
That's
will do
me.
my best, and my conscience is very valuable.
That's why my wife says I have diarrhea of the mouth. And because I just say what I think and I just put it out there, and she's like, "Oh God, why did you say
You
that?"
said,
Filters.
look, that's
Yeah,
my
the
biggest
filter's what I
fear
need.
in life
poop
is
filter.
getting to that point and like I tell everybody, how do you reel it back in?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, how do you oh well, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, you can't put the toothpaste back in
Yeah,
the tube.
no.
What I do
It's
is
a
just
little
throw
messy.
gasoline and dynamite.
What-
You said we're done.
Yeah,
I think what frustrates everybody is the lack of transparency.
I was
the lack
about
of
to say,
knowledge.
that's what I wanted
yeah,
to say. Yeah.
yeah.
When we're told this is a done deal, this is good for you, digest it, eat it, and deal with it.
Right.
The before I knew anything about it, when I was just being exposed to the information, the idea that the state of Louisiana, meaning us, is responsible for cleanups. They've capped damages. Those two factors right there told me, okay, this isn't safe. If
And then-
it was
yeah.
safe and proven technology, they
You
wouldn't be
wouldn't do
worried
the-
about
yeah,
the amount of
yeah.
damages
Yeah.
due to personal injury or death. They
Right.
wouldn't be worried about having to clean up their mess. They wouldn't have capped all that. They wouldn't have put those safety measure in to alleviate their potential costs. And
Which was and for me the numbers just don't
yeah, and
don't add up.
I still want to see the white paper, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
At what point is it too much, right? Is 5 deaths acceptable? 50, 500? If,
How many
if a
acres?
hurricane blows through
Right,
and
right.
rips the wellhead off of Cameron and this stuff starts leaking into the waterways, the aquifers, how many people suffocate? How many waterways do we lose? What is acceptable
Right.
and what is too much?
Because they've done
It's a fine line.
risk analysis.
assessment.
Have they?
Yeah.
I don't know that they have.
Somebody had, surely.
Maybe they're
I mean,
just
come on, we're
looking
talking
at
about the government
tax credits.
right?
Do they do? No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
I heard a commercial where they said this is a good investment, but if it was an investment, they wouldn't need the 45Q tax credits. They would have done this on their own.
Right.
Correct.
They
Right.
would have taken their money, put their money on the line.
Put some
There is
real
no demand for this.
Right.
There's zero demand for what they're wanting with the 45Q. There is a slight demand to produce wood and other products that are built a certain way, but not what they're talking about with 45Q and what they're wanting to do with the oil and gas wells. That is a falsehood.
Right.
Thank you.
It's a lie.
Thank you.
It's an
Yeah.
absolute lie.
That
That needs to be said.
I've heard
Loving it.
of industry person say that they have to do this for Europe to purchase our natural gas. But my thinking is, we put it on the market. They'll purchase it if they want it or need it.
Right.
And if they want to clean it
Oh,
up,
they're going to.
let them clean it up.
They're
Look,
going to take whatever they
again,
can get.
That is a lie. That is something they made up. I think I told y'all last time.
Yes, sir.
We signed an agreement with Germany in 2024, long-term purchase of LNG. Since I saw you guys last time, I have been looking for other LNG agreements, and there's nothing in there about
Wow.
buried carbon in any of them.
wow.
They're saying we are anticipating them coming. Now, there is a professor at LSU who, I got to be careful. I'm not going to say names. But there's a professor at LSU who runs this energy institute down there. And he loves to go around and talk about the demand that we decarbonize and the requirement that we decarbonize. And when we had a meeting in Ragley a few months ago, a guy named Tommy Cryer walked over to him and he said, well, where is this demand? Can you tell me where this demand is? And he said, oh, we think it's coming.
Wow.
So it's just an anticipation
So-
for it.
so
There
they
is no
want-
actual demand for it right now.
None.
None.
So they want to disrupt our lives.
Mm-hmm.
They actually don't care about disrupting the lives of the people around here. They
Right.
do not care because they don't live here.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is what they're doing. They're trying to hedge their bets so they can. So they, I really don't know why they want to do it.
Well, I think we've touched on that, and we know where this is going and why they're wanting to do this carbon capture and why they're wanting to make it a carbon credit based system and why they're wanting to do that is they have a greater plan.
Oh, yeah.
And the greater plan is our enslavement,
And get us off of oil and gas.
right? And so if you break America down and you make it to where she is just, going mud riding with street tires, is basically what they want us to do. And it's where America is no longer a viable country that can actually produce and be a powerful hegemony against China and Russia. And in some of these places that we're going to need to have manufacturing plants that aren't the cleanest. If you're going to churn out 155 military armory, shells and stuff like that, like you're going to need to be able to produce stuff in the world that we're going to come up and living in.
We already are the cleanest producers of
Right.
really everything
Thank
on the
you.
planet. We under the Nixon administration created the EPA, and they have been tyrannical.
Yeah.
I was about to
They
say,
have been bad.
They've been on it.
in many ways, though, they have forced us where we are to be clean.
Yeah.
Our oil producing capacity is the second cleanest on earth behind Norway. Our natural gas is the second cleanest on earth behind Japan. Nobody else is cleaner than us.
Wow.
Japan and Russia and India pollute the earth with crap all the time.
And see,
we don't.
China,
Europe
Russia.
didn't
Oh,
mind
yeah.
buying
India.
LNG and natural gas from Russia whenever they had the Nord
They
Stream.
didn't want to freeze.
They didn't want to freeze. They
don't
wanted
wanna
cheap.
freeze.
That's what they did. They built their economy and all their government subsidies and all these welfare programs on the backs of cheap energy that they were
Right.
getting from Russia.
Right.
And so if you look at where they were getting their stuff from, it wasn't clean. So don't tell me they want to buy from us because we need to be cleaner so that they can buy from us. That's a
No,
non-starter.
they'll
for me.
buy it regardless.
They'll buy it
Oh, yeah.
regardless. They're
Well,
gonna
it's like,
wanna
are you going to
freeze.
freeze? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at, I'd say probably the doorstep of World War III where we're sitting at right now. And things are going to get shaken up pretty bad. So they're going to get it where they can get it.
Yeah. Well, with the carbon tax, with the carbon credits, they can create an economic system
Yes.
outside of USD, the SWIFT, all of that.
Because they can exchange their credits, correct? Like if
Right.
one didn't use all theirs,
Yeah.
they can sell those credits to another company that's out of credits, correct?
Right.
Something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
And this
It's like a barter
trickles-
system
this trickles
amongst
down
themselves.
to individuals, right?
Yeah.
So, in China, you can watch it in real time. If you don't have a high enough social credit score,
it's
you
super
don't
scary.
get to use these services. You don't get to shop at this area.
Right.
You don't get to travel. If you hang around these people, you lose credit score. What if you look at a carbon footprint
I was about
and
to say.
you measure
yeah.
your value based on your carbon footprint?
That's a dystopian society. that I
This
don't
is
think
where we just need to tell them all to go to hell.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree.
We
Thank
are
you.
not going to be subjugated to that.
Thank you.
We have 3 more years of this president to dig our heels in, to get in a 4-point stance in football and fight this. President Trump doesn't believe this. Look, I don't know if y'all saw it or not or heard it, but it was about 4 weeks ago when the Secretary of Commerce went on moon. The Secretary of the Interior went on Moon Griffon. A guy named Doug Burgum. He's a former.
I did
he's,
hear that.
He's the former governor of North Dakota. North Dakota has captured and used a lot of carbon for enhanced oil recovery, and all that's good. But they kept saying Burgum is a big believer in carbon capture. So Moon been raising hell about this for about a year and a half, and apparently our administration got Burgum to come on here and to straighten Moon out. So to tell Moon
okay.
how the cow ate the cabbage. Well, Moon got him to admit on the air that burying carbon was a scam.
Yeah. Yeah.
He talked about how we use it for enhanced oil
I feel
recovery.
it is.
That we use it for enhanced oil recovery. He said, but nobody wants to bury it permanently. There's clowns around here who do.
Yeah.
There's clowns in Baton Rouge and in Washington who want to force us to do this. And so I'm waiting for the president to step in. I think as we talked about last time, I hope the president is going to step in when the vote tally changes in the Senate and ends this. But someone needs to summarily stop this.
Well, have you talked to Mike Johnson about any of this? Well, I mean, I know.
Mike Johnson, the speaker
Yeah.
in Washington.
Yeah.
I have not been able to have a conversation with him about this. I've had short, cryptic conversations with him since he's been speaker. Very rarely. I do talk to his staff all the time,
Yeah.
and they will get you on the phone, and they will talk you in a circle and say nothing.
Right.
So you just get tired of talking. And
I do
you're like,
get tired.
All right,
of them.
I'm
They make
done.
me-
Yeah.
They make me mad.
Right.
They have the audacity to tell me, well, there's people who spent money preparing for this. And it's like, I don't
So
care.
They're
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they're a
are-
Chalk that
bad
up. Take
investment.
your L.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take your
take
L.
your
They
L.
are wanting to do things to our neighbors, to us, to our parish neighbors. I don't care. I don't care at all. But they say, "Oh, Representative Owen, you got to understand, people are counting on this."
Who?
Well,
Yeah.
let them go. Let them
Who
go
are
do
they?
it.
That's a really good question. Who
Show-
are these
show.
people, and what kind of money was invested, and then
Who
why
told
was
them
it
to
not
invest
done
it?
in
Right,
public?
right. And
Oh.
if there's such a demand
If
for
there's
it,
if it's so awesome, why did they just bring it out and just start at the front end and be like, hey, look, this is a really good idea, and this is what we need to do, and here's the money that we're going to invest, and these are all the people that are behind it. What do y'all think?
And y'all can
Instead, it was
start-
done backroom deals. It was a bunch of shady politics getting paid off, and people were just like, well, these idiots ain't going to say anything. Well, then when we did, then they're like, oh, no, this didn't work out like we wanted it to.
They noticed.
Something in the milk is not clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've-
they noticed. Thank you. They noticed him.
There was a Facebook group. They're a nonprofit active on fighting the CCS, and they tracked how this started, where it started, in the Van Ness law firm in Washington, D.C., Mary Landrieu. And her campaign staff guy, he's an attorney there. They do a lot of environmental, coastal energy stuff. And this was pushed down to Louisiana through that,
So it was started by that law
Ness.
firm?
not started.
Where did it
They
start
just,
from?
well, this is off Agenda 2030. This
Ah.
is the Sustainable Development Goals, the
Gotcha.
SDGs.
That we
We're going to
supposedly
eliminate poverty. We're going
They were out of
we're
now.
gonna-
right. So
We're
then
out
why are
of
we
that.
doing it?
Yeah.
If we're out of it, it's
so
cut your losses. Let's
this
go.
is they're not going to cut their losses. They've got their teeth in this. They've got money invested. They were building
Hundreds of
infrastructure
millions of
before
Mm-hmm.
permits were issued.
Do you know if any of that pipeline stuff that was going through, was that really pipeline for
Yes.
natural gas, or was that pipeline for this infrastructure they were trying to build? Because I don't see Joe Biden allowing us to do pipeline work like we were doing
For
out
natural
here
gas.
for natural gas. I don't see that.
Look, the official answer is, and I don't have any reason not to believe this, there have been no permits issued for those pipelines. They're natural gas pipelines. Now, they could be dual purpose.
Okay.
Right.
They could be dual purpose.
I just-
But I've not seen any of the other ones that have. And I've
Yeah.
asked the question.
This whole thing could have been stopped had Jeff Landry done away with Bell Edwards'
yes.
climate mandate that we're going to be carbon neutral by 2030, 2050, whatever it was. But he didn't do that.
Still hasn't done
He
it.
still hasn't done it. And so
It's like
this,
you vote for
this isn't-
change.
Yeah, this
and it's
isn't
just
a-
the same administration
well,
with a different
I mean,
face.
this isn't a Democrat or Republican issue. This is a corporate versus
Yes.
people issue.
Corporatocracy
Yeah,
versus people.
yeah. So corporate
I like
the
it.
corporations
good
have,
word.
have captured the government. They have enough lobbyists and enough money to push their agenda forward. Actually, there was a video with Mike Johnson from Alexandria, and I think you were on it. I don't know the man. I don't remember the man's name. He is diametrically opposed to allowing the parishes to vote whether or not they want this. And his argument is it needs to be a statewide
Huh.
industry thing because the industry
So
can't
and not based
go parish to
on-
parish.
Okay.
They want to just be able to
roll
do
it
what
through.
they wanna do.
Yeah.
They're saying it would destabilize the oil industry and the carbon industry. That was 2 days ago, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the guy's name is Tommy Fauché, and
That was it.
he is the lead executive counsel for Louisiana Oil and Gas Association, a thing called LOGA. And prior to this, I had nothing bad. I don't have anything bad to say about Tommy. I have a hard time believing he's bought into it. But his job before this was to proliferate the oil and gas industry in the state,
Right.
which is good. But they've been roped into this. And they were some of the ones that fought us the hardest last year. When I did my local option bills, all three of them, his people came to the table and pushed me down.
Wow.
Or pushed back, and I mean they lined up the opposition. They mostly lined up the legislators to stop it. It was I'm sure it was a done deal before it got in there. 'Cause
Right.
we-
Sounds like it.
we didn't make any headway at all.
I was-
Sounds like it was
At
a
the
done
They already
deal.
had a meeting before y'all even had
I
that
was
one.
thoroughly
yeah.
disappointed they did not get out of committee. Your bills should have been on the floor for a vote. They,
Well, that's what
Well,
I
people
was.
are afraid to take votes like that because
Yeah.
then they're on the record.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That's
And
when they
then
get
that'll
on the
never be. You'll always be remembered for that.
Well, they need to remember they can get voted out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you piss the people off, they'll vote you out.
Well, and that's assuming that you can get to those districts and that there are people to go to those districts.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, who? I never hear of the legislators who supported this getting hit.
Really?
They don't. I never hear of Joe Orgeron getting hit. Joe's a friend of mine, but there are a bunch of legislators down there who are for this, and everyone is like, we don't talk about the guys who are for this.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Do you think they've got it wrapped up in the whole oil and gas thing, and there's so much support down there for jobs, and that's where people make their money, and they kind of rolled this into the oil. This has to be done for oil and gas industry.
They have proliferated that myth, and people believe it.
Bought into it. Yep.
I was
that's
about
what
to
I was
say,
thinking.
what
That's a
I'm
lie.
seeing,
That too is a lie.
what
Right.
I'm seeing with this is companies, timber companies are holding meetings now to discuss how they need this. And so a friend of mine, he owns a logging business, and he got invited to, like, it was kind of a private meeting held, and I don't remember the timber company that came and spoke, but the timber company was in essence saying, you know, they're going to go downhill if we don't roll this through. And I remember asking my husband, like, what does the timber company have to do with any of that? How does CCS help our timber companies?
It is
Money.
bizarre.
Yeah, it is. Well, and that's
Money.
when I go to digging.
Right? Money,
know.
money.
And what I find out is this is just a backup plan for them in case they're not selling the timber that they
yeah.
should. They plan on having that as paying out.
Or it pads their wallets.
Right. So if they do have a great year with timber, they've also got this as well. So it's a little extra payday.
Right.
But they're trying to make it where, well, if we don't do good this month, don't worry, we got this well over here that's, you know, paying for whatever. But I told my husband, I was like, they're spinning this so many different ways to make you buy into, oh my God, we have to have this. Like, because that's his life, you know. I mean, he owns that logging company. Like, if something were to happen, that would gravely disrupt the way that they live.
So does he own the land that he
Yeah.
logs?
Some of it.
Some of it's
But,
probably
you know,
leased.
but
I was
the,
going to say a lot of it's leased land. So the landowner is going to be somebody that's
right.
way up there.
So the landowners, of course, would have to, you know, say okay with it. But I just was blown away that this is how far we've gotten with, like, they're just coming up with anything and everything to make people buy
Look,
into it.
when we were at the legislature last year, and I was bringing these bills, and the Louisiana Forestry Association came to oppose my bills, and some people who own a logging company
Yeah.
came to oppose. And look, if they could explain to me how this is going to help them,
Exactly.
Right.
I would love to have that discussion.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they cannot.
can't.
The only way they can loosely extrapolate it was when they brought that Highland Pellets bunch in here, and they started talking about we can use that to get a pellets company in here, and that's how we're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a big time stretch.
Yeah.
It is not a long term thing, and I can't understand how burying garbage helps the timber industry
Yeah.
any
Or
more
how-
than it helps oil and gas.
Or how it helps the pellet company, because why would the pellet company be concerned with CCS if they were going to come here or not? They're going to come here because it makes some business sense.
Well, here's what they told us. They came here and they said they have a buyer who will buy their pellets if their pellets are produced in a low carbon fashion, meaning the carbon is buried. And so I asked him, I said, "You're in
who's the
business
buyer?
now, right? People in Europe." And I asked the dude, I said, "Okay, you're doing this in Arkansas now, right?" He said, "Yep." I said, "Are you burying your carbon now?" He said, "No.
Nope.
We're abating it." So then that forced me to go look what abatement is. And I dug into that, and I found out there's a company over in Woodville, Texas doing this too. Same paradigm. They are producing wood pellets. They are selling them to European buyers at a lower carbon footprint, but they're not burying them.
Wow.
So we can do that here too. So
Yeah.
that's one of my pieces of legislation this time is
is-
I'm going to have a wood pellets incentive bill
Oh yeah.
for someone who will want to
That's
come
good.
bring a pellet business in here, and we'll give you incentives. Next year we'll move it to taxes. We can't talk about taxes this year,
Right.
but we can do all sorts of other incentives to encourage them to come here. 'Cause
Honestly, that has been my question for this whole time since CCS came up. Was that the only thing on the table? Like,
The pellet company.
well,
Here.
just like what else can y'all bring here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Other than
CCS
CCS.
could not have been the only thing that could come to Leesville, or just anywhere in Vernon Parish. Like I know that there are other things on the table that can make money here.
there are.
They just haven't been explored or talked about, or not willing to.
You want to hear about another one?
Yeah.
The
I'm all for
the
it.
land we stand on, especially in the northern part of Vernon Parish, is the best soil in the state for making brick. Didn't know that, did you?
No.
Everyone wonder what this gumbo's for?
Mm-hmm.
Brick making.
Okay.
making.
I was about to say.
There's one brick manufacturer in the state of Louisiana, and it's down in Slidell. So
Okay.
I have been trying to twist LED's arm.
Yeah.
They came over here and they had a meeting with us and me and some other people at the chamber, and I explained this to them, and they all kind of like stared at me like I had three heads. There was a brick manufacturer here back in the 40s.
Oh wow, it's been that
So
long
it
ago.
has
Yeah.
happened. This is the best soil in the state for it here. And the reason that we haven't had it is because ideally they like to have it near water because it's heavy to move. But we have 9 railheads in this parish.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We can put it on rail and send it
Yeah.
to port. So we're going down that path too. I'm not going to
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow this discussion to just say it's CCS or we die.
See, and that's what I
No,
love that.
thank
I
you.
love it
Hell
because
no.
I'm like, let's look at the table in a whole.
Yes.
What all is on the table? We don't just have to go with this one. Like,
No.
let's look at it all.
Yeah, and the truth is, we're fine without CCS.
Oh yeah.
Toledo Bend's not poisoned. Vernon Lake's not poisoned. Anacoco Lake's not poisoned.
Right.
The land. And this whole idea of carbon capture, God gave us the most effective carbon capture.
Trees.
Yes, ma'am. Device. I mean, we can't do any better than trees. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Right.
We give the trees what they need. They provide us what
yep.
we.
Yeah.
If you want to capture some carbon, plant some trees.
Well, and tree planting is part of the abatement process. For every tree you
there
cut,
you
you have
go.
to plant 2.
You can't
Right.
make this up.
It's not.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't.
Well, that's what cracked me up about the timber company because I was like, y'all
That's
do this for a
abatement.
living. Like,
Right.
I'm so confused.
Kill all the trees. What are you gonna cut?
Yeah, because I was just like, y'all know what trees do, right?
What was that Horton Here to Who, or what movie was that with the
Oh no,
They cut all the
my
trees.
kids used to watch that all the time.
trees are
that
down?
was
They didn't have anything to cut down.
they made the Sneed, and
Yeah.
then they cut all the trees down. It was a Dr. Seuss movie
Yeah.
though, The Lorax.
The Lorax,
Yep, the
yeah.
Lorax. Yep,
I thought that was like in your throat.
that'd be your larynx.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She knows all the body parts, man. From like the neck up, she
Yep,
got
yep,
it all.
I got you.
You mentioned that y'all, Baton Rouge isn't going to touch taxes this session. Is that
Can't by law.
by law? Okay, all right.
You have to
All
wait
right,
till
I
the
gotcha.
next
Odd years.
year.
Odd years are tax
Okay.
sessions.
All right, so we've touched on all this. Is there something else that we got brewing here that we want to talk about tonight, or do y'all want to keep talking about this?
Well, I just
Closing thoughts on this?
if let's say Mr. Johnson's bills get out of committee, they go to the floor, they pass. The people put enough pressure on the legislature saying, "Hey, we want to vote on it." Is there an avenue for the governor to kill those bills?
Oh yeah, he can veto them.
And just shoot them down.
Yeah, he can veto them. I expect he will exert pressure against them in the committee. I think pressure will be posed ahead of time. And so, y'all asked me last time what can
Yes,
we
sir.
do to help. So, and I've thought about that. I really have. And so, I hope that the advocacy groups out there will begin looking at the legislature in a whole, especially the ones on the committee, the ones that where they have a chance of getting them out, because that is the first critical step, and then you got to get it out of the whole house. I think that actually would be easier than getting it out of the committee. Because when you bring these ostensibly conservative or rural legislators the option of voting for or against land rights, let's see what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Let's see what they do.
Okay.
So I hope the people that are engaged in this, wherever they are in it, will begin to try to communicate with lawmakers and other folks about what their desires are, and trying to create interest in other areas is smart. I've seen they're about to have a meeting in Caldwell Parish. I think they're taking it down to Thibodeau to spread this word, almost like a revival type of deal.
Ooh.
So
That's
get
good.
the word out.
Yeah.
Bring it to citizens. Look, and I say this all the time. The opposition for this rises when it happens in their parish,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Right.
and so it is a distant problem for them. But if it comes to their parish and they explain to them there's a possibility of it coming, then the math could change.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, with that, we're going to take our first break, and we will be right back on Leesville Tattoos and Views.
Whenever you're ready to be bold, it's time for Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor. Call 337-404-1703. Find them on Facebook or book your appointment through Vagaroo. Whether it's a beautiful cut, the perfect color, or just a fresh update, Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor has you covered. They're right behind Domino's in Leesville at 1614 South 5th Street. And remember, be good to your hair. You wear it every single day. That's Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor in Leesville. Call 337-404-1703 today.
Let's be honest, you don't want to spend money in a business that smells like an armpit or a dipsty dumpster. Here at Leesville Tattoo, we keep the shop smelling great with the help of Christie's candles. They're so strong, we rarely light them. We just open the lids and let them do their magic. Do your nose and your company a favor. Open some of Christie's candles around your place and make living peaceful a priority. Christie's candles available exclusively at Leesville Tattoos.
Carrie Joe Photo Co. is the only choice when you're serious about preserving those special moments that only happen once in a lifetime. Weddings, engagements, graduations, grand openings, organizations, and events. Carrie Joe Photo Co. are the professionals. Need your event filmed? At Carrie Joe Photo Co., it's not a problem. With hundreds of special events, thousands of painstaking creative hours, and millions of beautiful moments and memories captured, Carrie Joe Photo Co. has all the experience you require when nothing less than the best will do. 337-591-1748. 337-591-1748. Carrie Joe Photo Co. on social media and kmphotoandfilm.com. Don't wait till it's too late to preserve your moment forever with Carrie Joe Photo Co. 337-591-1748 and kmphotoandfilm.com. That's Carrie Joe Photo Co.
Hey y'all, it's Carrie Jo, and welcome to the Truth Serum. Life is loud, messy, and a little crazy sometimes, and too often it feels like nobody's really hearing us. Like we're talking, but the world's not listening. On top of that, we're surrounded by negativity that tears us down when what we really need is more honesty, more support, and more real conversations that lift us up. So that's what we're doing here. The subjects that feel too dark or off limits, we're talking about them. Those uncomfortable moments you found yourself in and thought, I can't be the only one, we're talking about it. The dangerous, the taboo, the things people would rather sweep under the rug, we're talking about those too. Unfiltered, unashamed, unapologetic, and authentic. This is where the truth lives and where we can finally say the things we've been holding back. So pull up a chair, hit play, and let's talk about it on the Truth Serum with Carrie Jo.
Alrighty, here we go. We're back at it again. Mr. Chuck Owens. We've been talking about CCS and the filth that goes with that. But let's talk about some of the other things that you've got going on as far as other dogs you want to let out of the truck to go hunt with.
Well, in the even years in the legislature, you have an unlimited number of bills. like in an odd year when we're doing taxes, we can only do 5. And I see the wisdom in that. It kind of restrains you. You have less time. But in an even year like this, it's Katie bar the door. And there's nothing you can't do. The only thing you can't do is taxes, and there's no limit you can do. So a lot of times people really let the dogs out.
Okay.
To go after things that sometimes they're harmless, sometimes they're ceremonial, sometimes they're really big rocks, sometimes they're huge rocks that have to go be dealt with. And so this will be my 7th time. I've learned my way around the building now, so I'm going to go at some really big things this time that are, I would say, would startle people from Republican doing some of them. Some of them will really make the left mad. Some of them will make the right mad, and that's okay.
Right.
I work for people here,
That's right.
and I am responding to people I work for,
Right.
or to things that I know that are wrong that need to be fixed. So here's one. A lady in town told me some months back about the problems she had with with the enforcement of a restraining order and managing the transition from the time where a restraining order is issued to try to keep someone at bay.
Right.
And so I've got a law on that's going to hopefully provide more protection for people who get restraining orders.
That would be so good. I watch a lot of ID channel, and the amount of restraining orders that just fail,
Yeah.
and, a lot of women, domestic violence is a huge thing, and a lot of women lose their lives because they're just not taken seriously on, he's going to kill me, and
This lady lost teeth.
yeah,
She had
yeah.
7 or 8 different
Oh, my
restraining
God.
orders.
And as a
She-
judge, like, whenever you issue that is her life, like, and you need to take it so seriously. Like, when you know that that's been happening to her, don't take it lightly, please.
So
She needs help.
So what's the what's the bill, or how do you,
well,
you want to disclose that now?
I
Not
would
really.
rather not disclose
Got
it
it.
now.
I got you.
would say a big component of it is, how you have a sex offender thing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
A restraining order public database.
Notice. Right.
Nice.
Restraining order
Ooh,
public database.
that would be
Gotcha.
Now,
nice.
this will run into all sorts of liberty issues about guilty
Mm-hmm.
and proven innocent and all that stuff, or not guilty until
Proven
until
innocent.
proven so. But at the same time, there are 2 parties involved here.
Right.
Right.
There is someone who felt so threatened that she had to go.
She had to go
down,
seek
get
help. Yeah.
Well, if the government says it's going to give help, then it needs to really give help and not give lip service to it.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully before we get down there, I'll be able to give y'all some more details on the bill. But I'm going to do this. This lady said she may even come and testify about what's happened to her.
That's awesome.
And these are
Yeah.
impactful things. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
it's one thing it's academic, and it's some gray-haired, overweight guy who says this needs to happen. But it's another thing when someone drives across the state and she sits there and goes, "Here's what's happened. and
Here's my
why
story." Yeah.
the government needs to help."
Okay.
This is what I've lived through.
Mm-hmm.
So on the front end of that, is it going to keep people from filing frivolous restraining orders? Like if
Like, if you didn't have enough
yeah.
evidence to
right.
really restrain that person. This has just happened behind closed doors. I don't have text messages. I don't have pictures. Yeah,
But
trying to.
there really are 2 sides to that, because
Yeah.
I have known people who have been accused falsely.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I know a guy whose wife was attacking him
Right.
with a knife,
And he took up for
defended
himself.
Defended
Yeah.
and pushed her down,
Yeah.
and he went to jail.
And he's the bad guy
So
in this.
that needs to be dealt with. too.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
we need to have good government. Do y'all know Stanley Fletcher? Stanley
Name
Fletcher's a
rings a
retired
bell.
teacher from around here. Stanley's one of my Democrat friends.
Was he a
My alter-
coach?
No.
No? Okay.
Stanley is a liberal. He's wrong about a lot of things, but he has a lot of wisdom. And I was talking to him one time when I moved back here about why some things aren't any better. And I said, "Is it because of corruption?" And he said, "No." He said, "Usually it's because of bad government. And that's what we need to eradicate is bad government."
bad decision making.
bad decision making
yeah.
and bad ramifications. And so, yeah, that is a good point.
Right.
There's got to be balance there, and those discussions need to be had.
Because if
Yeah.
it's too heavy-handed on the protection side, it's gonna
It could ruin someone's life.
yeah,
Right.
it's gonna
Justifiably.
it's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
give a lot of people that might want to hurt somebody
Right.
financially, or make them lose their job, or
That's what I tell. I mean, because I'm a hairdresser and I see women all the time, and sometimes, yeah, like people
catty.
people feel very comfortable with me, and they'll say, what's going on in their life and whatnot, and I tell them all the time, like, if that's really what's happening at home, you need to talk to tech staff. Like, you need to track all of this, because you're gonna need proof. You can't just
Yeah.
walk in and be like, well, he did this to me,
right,
but you have nothing to go on because it's your word against mine.
or
Done been there.
she's shaded and
Yeah,
she just
yeah.
wants to hurt Tim or John
Right,
or whoever.
right. Because I mean,
I'll show him.
look, there is hell hath no fury on a woman scorned,
Yep.
and yes, sometimes I feel like women do. They're just like, I'm gonna ruin your life
Yep.
because you ruined mine.
Yep.
And it's like figuring out what's true and what's not, and protecting the person that truly needs to be protected in
Right.
this. And yeah, you're gonna have to dig.
Yeah.
Because it's
To
hard to
find the
just
real
take
story.
somebody's word for it. Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. What else you got?
I'm going to throw a word out there that I heard only a couple of days ago. I think I'd heard it, but it'd been a long time. Plebiscite.
Oh God.
You know that one?
Elaborate.
Oh, you don't
So,
know
But
this
no,
one.
I
I
am
was
like,
talking. I was
what?
actually talking to a friend down in Homa on the phone, actually about the carbon issue and about how my citizens here are aggravated because they want to vote. They want to have a say in it. There's no allowance in law for allow parish level votes on this. It just does not exist. It's not in the law. And he said, there's a thing called plebiscites where you can get a vote of the people. It's non-binding, but it's done in an official election to get the pulse of the people.
Right.
Just to get
To
the
find the will of the people.
numbers.
So
yeah.
I started looking, and of course, because Louisiana is Louisiana, we have different types of parish government. We have something called home rule charters, and then we have what we have here in the police jury. And the rules, the laws about how they're managed are different. So like in Beauregard, they have a home rule charter, and they can call a plebiscite. They can call a plebiscite, and they can say, the people of Beauregard Parish want Interstate 14 to run through Beauregard Parish.
Yeah.
And they would go to the vote, and then there would be a recorded vote when it was over.
So
not
as
binding
a
in law.
collective, as Beauregard Parish, you could vote as a collective parish. So you would kind of see, all right, people's for this, or people
really
are
is just
heavily
It's
opposed.
an expensive poll,
Yeah.
is what it comes down to. So I found out for Vernon Parish, we don't have that capacity.
Really?
So
When you say you don't have that capacity,
we're not a home rule charter
We're
parish,
not
so we
that
can't call a
parish.
plebiscite. So I am going to bring a bill this time to allow any parish in the state that wants to do a plebiscite.
I
Nice.
like it.
Now,
Yeah.
Yes, I have a motive there because here the people want to vote on carbon.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be binding, but if we are able to hold this
And show our
85%
opposition.
of our people, or 75 or whatever it is, go to vote, I guarantee you people would come vote.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah,
would
absolutely.
come vote. It would be registered.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
if the companies and the politicians want to keep doing it, they will do that knowing full and well they
We
go
ain't
against.
for it.
Because
Yeah.
look, Representative Shamahorn and I have both polled this twice. It's 85 twice in both of our districts.
wow.
Wow.
Negative.
Wow.
That's good.
Negative.
That says a lot.
We paid for the poll twice. But it would be something else if we were. Now, I'm going to have to get this through the legislature.
Yeah.
Because then the truth is, it could be a lot of other applications. Because I mentioned I-14. That's what I used when I was talking to the people and the staff yesterday. I said, have you ever heard of I-14? No. I-14 is an interstate that's supposed to go from El Paso to Atlanta.
All the way across.
Yes, Texas has bought land. Texas has signs out in East Texas that says I-14 corridor. It stops at Burr Ferry.
Wow.
In Mississippi, they're buying land.
They're picking it
We're
up.
ignoring it like it's
Acting like
it's
it's
an
not gonna
ugly
happen.
cousin who came to Thanksgiving you don't want to talk to. So I said, what if I want my people to vote, and so the state can know that we demand Interstate 14 be funded through this parish? Because it's supposed to cut right through here. It's supposed to come literally from Burr Ferry all the way across over to Market Basket, and then all the way to Alexandria.
Can I ask
Wow.
real quick? Because if I remember correctly, that has been in the works for years. Okay,
Yeah,
because
it's
I
been a
remember when
while.
I first moved to Vernon Parish.
There
was
must be some big money
married-
fighting that.
I don't
Well,
know.
the fact is that we have a $19 billion deficit in other highway things. There's other things that.
So that's put on back burner
Just
till we
like-
get this
yeah,
taken care
like
of.
They're
we
just
got-
waiting for
we gotta
Fed money.
Let's
we
look
have
at that
to-
pothole on Boone Street
you
down
should.
there. Yeah.
We got a drag strip
Hey,
downtown.
he repaved it.
I know.
We have to get the bridge in Lake Charles fixed. Get a new bridge in Baton Rouge. The I-49 corridors. There's all sort of mega projects in addition to things like 117 and everything else. We're $19 billion behind.
Oof, that's a lot of money.
If they redo 117, and I have said that for because I'm from
The ground is
Provençal.
broken.
It
The
is.
ground is broken up at the tank trail. Have you seen
Oh,
it?
yeah. No, I haven't been up to
The
Natchitoches
ground
in
is
a
broken at
minute.
the tank trail, and Senator Reese and I have told DOTD that the polite stage is over because for 5 years they tell us, okay, your $30 million is allocated. Well, when are you going to get to it? They don't get to it.
Yeah.
They're not getting to it. It's like, wait a minute, I'm telling my people that this is here, and y'all aren't getting to it.
But it's not
our pro-
here. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
looking forward to breaking ground, finishing this area by the tank trail this year, and hopefully maybe even by the fall, start on the area between Leesville and Kisatchie.
I was about to say-
that's what we have allocated.
Because it's
is
pretty
money to
much
get it to
brand
Cal-
new all the way to the tank trail. They just finished the tank trail, so y'all will be finishing like they're going through Kisatchie, up
Kisatchie.
Bellwood.
From here to
Yeah.
To the
Kisatchie.
Natchitoches Parish line.
Oh, you're right.
To the Natchitoches
Forget
Parish
it's about
line.
halfway up there. Yeah.
Is that's where the DOTD lines are drawn, the magical lines. But
I've got land in Bellwood, so I've always said that's going to be fun getting to when they decide to.
I never
to
knew
redo
anybody
all that.
from Bellwood.
My whole family.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, we've got 60 acres back there. Yeah. But that was our hunting the whole time I was a child. You know, we went to grandma's property. Squirrel hunting, deer hunting, anything out there. But yeah, that'll be interesting to watch that be new through there. It's
Well,
been needing to be.
Oh, yeah.
it's a disaster.
It's a
is.
bad
It's
bad
horrible.
road. Yeah.
So y'all pay attention to the plebiscite thing as it goes through, and they may change the name.
We
They
all
may-
learned something new. We
Yeah, I
learned
thought
a
it was
big
like
word.
dinosaur poop or something. I didn't know what that was. It sounds really interesting.
Plebiscite.
Plebiscite.
But
I
that
will-
will give
I
so
will-
much
Oh, I stepped in some plebiscite.
credence to how people feel, you know,
Yes.
being able, because I feel like everybody I've talked to wants to put input somewhere, but there's nowhere to put input.
Right.
It's like, well, they said they're going to breeze it through, you know, I can't do
I
nothing.
can't believe that we don't have that power already as the constituency. Like,
Well,
I just don't understand why politicians. I thought they actually listened to us and would want to know how we felt about crap
It's
instead
not
of
that we
just
don't want to know. It's just there's no mechanism in the law to have a vote.
right.
To have
you
a
think that
vote,
would have
so you
happened?
do know.
I don't
yeah.
know, 50 years ago, maybe.
But where do you draw the line? The question is between a democracy and a representative republic.
Right.
Y'all
Mm-hmm.
can't vote on all 1,500 bills.
Right.
Well, you could if you wanted to, I guess. But that imagine how unwieldy that.
I was about to say, we all know that would be chaos.
Yeah, we already have enough elections in this state,
Mm-hmm.
enough voting. You know, if you
so-
had to vote on every item,
Mm-hmm.
there might be 3 days a month you didn't vote.
Send me a
Yeah.
link on my phone.
Right.
That's a good idea.
You know, I mean, just hey, what do you think? Boop.
That's so quick and easy. You don't have to
So
drive anywhere.
simple.
Yeah. Somebody needs to make an app for that. I'm just saying.
If it's non-binding, you know, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of room for fraud. Somebody can start up a bot farm or something.
You
I
know,
don't
you
know.
were talking about people feel like there's no avenue. There are social media sites that will give you information on, you know, this item, that item.
Oh, yeah, because anybody in my chair, I'm like, do you know what CCS is?
Well,
Yeah,
And they're like,
you heard of that?
no.
yeah.
Well, you're about to.
Yeah.
My friend over there in England, Shelley, they were facing a dynamic. Keir Starmer had told them, if you want to work,
Speaking of scum,
Yeah.
you have to have a digital ID.
Right.
And the people in England, especially in northern England, they were like, no, we're not doing this. So they had to collect so many signatures.
Before they could,
Well, this
like,
if
stop
they- if-
pushing it through, or?
If they collected enough signatures, they would send it to Parliament, and then Parliament could vote on it. They collected 10 times the amount of signatures needed,
Oh my God.
sent it to Parliament, and Keir Starmer did a U-turn. He said, well, it's going to be voluntary.
Oh,
We're not going to, because they didn't want the vote in Parliament.
that's
But the
interesting.
people in northern England are kind of like our south. Their south is kind of like our north. In
Right.
northern England, that's where all the Blade Runners were cutting down the 5G
Right,
towers,
yeah.
filling all the cameras full of
The foam. Yeah.
Right. So
My people.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
You-
they're-
if
They
you ever
were
get a
not
chance to
for
look
it,
at the
yeah.
Blade Runners in northern England, they cut down all the ultra low emission
Yeah.
cameras, and they'd go out there with black hoodies on and just like start chopping these cameras
they
down.
take
dude.
a torch and just cut the tower down, and they did it
Wrap
so
chains
often.
around 'em.
The government just quit trying to put them up
Yeah.
because it became.
It was there as a control mechanism to like charge your basically your carbon credit score or charge your account. If you drove in a diesel truck that wasn't an ultra low emissions vehicle,
You
you
get
got
charged for
charged
that,
more, and
yeah.
it would take a picture of your license plate.
Send you a
and
bill
send you
later.
a bill in the mail.
England has fallen.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Britain is gone.
Yeah.
And she's talking about moving either to the States, to Cyprus, to somewhere other than there. Their birth rate, you need 2.1 replacement level birth rate. They're at 1.8. And the immigrant population is at like 8.1.
something. Yeah.
So
They're having
by
8 kids.
2035, I think 2034, 2035,
Native.
England will be majority Muslim.
Yep. Native people will be outbred by
Yeah.
2035. That fast.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember. I seen
It's
something
going to be
about
quick.
Yeah.
the prime minister. I'll have to look it up because I hate to say
But
it.
my point was,
Go ahead.
if the people are informed,
Mm-hmm.
if they know
what's
the
going on, yeah.
information and they have an avenue, I don't understand the idea. Well, they're just going to push it through. What good am I? You're a voice. Send an email,
Well,
make
that's
a phone call.
literally that's what I
sign a
told a
petition.
lady in my salon because we were talking about it was like when we first Chuck Owen had first came on the podcast. So I was kind of excited over there talking to Lindsay about it, and her client was like, "Well, I don't know why y'all wasting your time. Like it's already
Right.
pushed through." And I'm like,
No, it's not.
"It's not.
They want you to believe it's
know?
pushed through.
Like
They want you to
Um,
believe it's.
when you're
Everyone-
like that, you will never cause change because you're just going to go right along with it and you have a voice. And I do believe you are meant to use your voice. So I remember
absolutely.
telling her, it's not through yet. I mean, we're going to fight this thing.
Look,
Until-
the governor
yeah.
said straight up, if they don't want it, they ain't going to get it. Well,
Well, you
police-
done
The
heard.
police
Yeah.
jury now has done their 180.
Right.
Yeah, that was
I think-
interesting.
I
Oh,
think
Oh,
they
yeah.
did their 180 after I saw y'all. Didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
sir.
so
I
thank
think
God. Thank God for them listening to the people.
I think it was 3 days later after that podcast because
so-
my husband was actually like, "Did you see this?" And I was like, "No." And he tells me about, because they posted on Facebook about, "We're sorry."
Mhm.
I was like, "Interesting."
Look, human beings are not flawless.
Right, right.
And sometimes, oftentimes, it's the nature of deliberative bodies. They have to change course.
Mm-hmm.
It happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I told y'all about this or not, but it was probably 3 years ago. The previous Speaker of the House down in Baton Rouge got us to vote in legalization of kratom.
Mm.
People died. There was no control over it. People literally died. It was gas station heroin.
Yeah. I was about to say,
So
we're still
we
learning
cha-
about kratom.
We changed
yeah.
course on that.
Yeah.
It was alive for 2 years, and we
Mhm.
fixed it. So, in a microcosm, that's what the police jury did.
Mhm.
They put a resolution through. There was a bad result, and the citizens demanded change, and they changed. So,
Right.
and that's kind of what we're sitting in the middle of, to a degree, with carbon. But it's not as widespread across the state. If every parish were having the disruption that we're having, this would be over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If half the parishes were having this disruption, it would be over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Because you'd realize, like,
the legislators in the parishes where this is happening, we are all on board and we are doing our best to change it. And so, good for the police jury, is what I would say. And
Yeah.
I grieve over what you just said about England. I mean, mean, because if it weren't for England, there would be no Western civilization.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they made bad decisions by letting their doors open and letting bad people in that were not tied to their culture.
Yeah. And we're experiencing the same dynamic, but our country is so much larger.
Yeah.
Those disruptions
right.
are isolated. But
What would be the size of England? What would you compare that to? Is it
Like half of Texas.
Texas? Like I was about to say, it's not even.
You could probably fit at least 30 Englands inside the United States, possibly more.
yeah,
I mean, you're
So we could have.
you're
Not,
basically
I'm saying not that we could afford letting immigrant,
From
more
that-
in,
yeah, from
but
that
for
village
them,
that village where she lives, you're basically 50 minutes from
either way,
either coast.
yeah.
And I think England's population is about 130, 180 million people, somewhere in there. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly. So,
So
I mean,
them having the influx that we did just it will wipe them out
and the
completely.
issue is,
yeah.
if when I was a child growing up, when we landed in a foreign country, we did our best to accommodate their laws, their customs, their
Because that's
culture.
their home. Yeah.
That's we're guests.
we
we're
are guests
visiting.
in your home.
So
yes.
if you are going to move somewhere, the idea is I don't
Acclimate.
like where I'm living. I want to live here. Let me assimilate. Let me do my best to mimic this culture I'm moving to. Let me adopt their customs, their traditions, their values. I'm going to leave what I left behind, but they're not doing that.
No.
No, they're coming and they're bringing everything that they have, and they're like, "Well, you have to do this the way that we do it."
That's happening in Texas, where all the people are coming from California.
Yeah.
You know,
But in the
don't
United
California
States
my
is-
Texas, man.
is so different than most countries on the earth because we are so large. We are literally, I mean, if you cut it up by region, New England, the Appalachian Mountains, the Deep South, the Midwest, the Northeast,
Yeah.
the West Coast, the Northwest, it's almost like 6 or 8 different countries,
Yeah.
different cultures, different food, different weather.
It could be easily balkanized.
Well, and it could easily fracture too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's fish you can't put in the same tank.
That's true.
They'll kill each other
Right.
before they live together. You have a society, a religion, a culture diametrically opposed to our value system. But
Like-
yet we are supposed to accommodate them. I saw a video of a man in, I believe it was Scotland or Ireland. They were doing call to prayer 5 times a day. So he just got his bagpipes out. And he would walk around, play his bagpipes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Every
He's like,
time.
no.
That's
I
right.
bet they- I bet they-
That's right.
I bet they arrested him, charged him with 5 years.
I don't know.
People are getting arrested for just speaking out over there,
Well, they're getting arrested for praying.
for praying. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
getting arrested. There was a guy that was on vacation in Florida.
I
Brit?
saw that.
He was on vacation. He
Yes,
went to
sir.
a gun range. He shot a gun range for the first time in his life. Had a picture of himself on Facebook shooting a rifle. He got arrested when he got back to
when he
London.
got back
Oh,
home.
no.
Yeah.
For shooting?
Shooting here.
At Florida.
In another country.
Like it's not even the same country.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
wow.
So, this idea that you're going to prevent crime before it happens, the thought police. I think it was, don't quote me, maybe it was Benjamin Franklin. It's better for 10 guilty men to go free than one
Yes.
innocent man be locked up, prosecuted.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot legislate morality. You cannot, which, you mentioned the bill on, bring back public shaming. I mean,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you
You
shame.
should be ashamed of yourself for what you did.
Yeah, when I was growing up, like my it was beat into my head. Don't do anything you wouldn't want to tell your grandmother about.
Yeah. Yeah.
The idea that somebody's watching you need to bring honor to your family name. The ancestors that suffered to get you where you're at.
You're dishonoring them. I'm gonna need you to do better.
Yeah,
Try hard.
Yeah, try harder.
So, I don't, and I understand there has to be a balance, but we have run so far off the rails
Oh yeah.
where,
Oh, yeah.
you know, just the idea that I get to do what I want. It doesn't matter. There's no consequences.
Yeah.
Let everybody else suffer the price.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, when you force collegiate and high school girls teams to accept that a guy with long hair is a girl and can go out there and play sports on the same field,
it's absurd.
that's insane. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a definition
And we all know
of
it's
insanity.
insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fight nature.
My daughter is 14 and played a team that had a
Your
boy
kid,
on
I
their
mean,
team.
call it
and
what it
That was
is.
hard to
Where?
watch.
Yeah.
Well, here and not in Vernon Parish, but it was
That's against the law in Louisiana. We have made that
Selene.
against the law.
Well,
How long
she
ago?
was out there last year. And
Where?
that was hard to watch.
Selene?
Selene. Yeah. Those are my daddy went to school. But that was hard to watch, you know, because we
That was
all
basketball?
kind of, yeah. And if you ever watch boys play, they're explosive.
Mhm.
Like
Oh, yeah.
they're fast. They're, you know, when they chunk a ball, they're chunking a ball. Like you better be ready for it. And watching that against the girls was just
Yeah.
like,
Well,
what are we
nature has
doing here?
designed us differently, right?
Mhm.
When a female experience, and I don't want to make any blanket statements, but when a female experiences pain, she tends to breathe and be all right with it and
We're gonna
calmly
breathe through it,
work
yeah.
through it. A man, our fight or flight syndrome comes up.
We
and
scream like a girl.
We're ready
Man,
to
I'm
get after
hurting. You
it.
better do something. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
you know,
grunt.
Yeah.
So biologically,
It's like,
we're designed
know.
to provide and protect,
Mm-hmm.
to kill or die trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
A female, her bones aren't as thick
Mm-hmm.
because they don't need to support as much
Yeah.
muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Her lungs don't hold the same capacity.
It was like
because they're not.
It was like watching someone who was just so much stronger, you know, play against someone who just was not born weak, but not born
But
with the
females-
attributes, you
females
know,
aren't
that
weak.
a male doesn't have. Yeah. Or
females-
does have.
Yeah, females
so,
are not weak. I can't give birth. I cannot nurture a
Right.
baby.
right.
I would not survive childbirth.
Mhm.
I cannot do what a female does. I have no concept of
Well, they shouldn't be having boys play against girls in sports.
no.
I mean,
that's common sense.
And I can remember
Everybody-
us talking, like all the parents were kind of like talking about it, like, okay, I don't.
Was
think
this a school
is
game or a
right.
rec league?
No, it was a school game. It was
man,
school.
I
yeah.
would
telling
almost
you
be
that
like,
was
go out there on
against
the court and be
the
like,
law.
stop.
and that
Everybody
got brought
stop.
up, and it was just like,
The principal just looked the other way.
yeah, we were
Was
just
this his
kind of
junior high
like,
age?
yeah. So it was just kind of like it got blown over, and you know we left, and I looked at my husband. I was like, I hated watching that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I
not
mean,
fun
should've
for
now
said
anybody.
what
something.
was bad was he was good. You know, I mean, he was really good, but like
Then have
playing
him
on
play
the
with boys.
yeah, then
He was probably a
take
JV
that
athlete.
somewhere else.
Probably a JV level boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what these people are. The fact is, they're usually average to JV level boys who can't compete with boys.
With the boys, so let me go beat
And
a
they
girl.
go in there, and it's just. I'm sorry if people are confused. It was that. Tell you what, that
he
was.
said, "Let me
a-
correct y'all's confusion real
but
quick."
that was a hard couple of months when we ran that bill at the legislature.
Oh, I can
It
imagine.
was really rough. People came from all over.
The opposition.
The building was full of different people. Violence was threatened. There was one dude that came. He called himself Blue Baby. It was this great big heavy man whose body was painted blue and said he was a girl.
See, and I just cannot.
And
I can't live in your delusion.
Yeah.
Like I refuse. I had an older lady that worked for me for a long time, and I remember she had a certain individual come and stay with her because a hurricane come through, and I said, "Well, how's that going?" You know, just because. Anyways, she said, "Well, I just had to tell him that's you see what you see, but I don't see it, and I will not live in your delusion. so, I will call you by this name. And I told her, I said, Joanne, that's the best thing I've ever heard. Like,
I will not live in
it
your
was good.
delusion.
Yeah, I'm not going to live. You go ahead, but I'm not doing it.
Right.
This was a really interesting exercise in democracy because they came to the committees and they testified. And we sat for hours and gave them the time that they needed. And
Yeah.
we were respectful and tried to be polite.
Right.
They would come and yell at us and scream at us and curse us. How dare you MFers do this? They really would.
Yeah. No, I
They
believe
would-
you.
they
I believe
screamed.
you.
Very violent.
Because they're unhinged.
They were really rough. But it was a public debate. It was a public law. We had to do it that way. And then Governor Edwards vetoed the bill.
Wow.
And so we had to come back in the summer and override his veto. There's only I think two
You're
or
like,
three
let's
times.
do this again.
Only
Huh?
2 or 3 times in the history of Louisiana that a governor's veto has been overridden, and he got 2 of them.
Wow.
We overrode his veto, and he was not happy. He was not happy, but that was a societal order thing. It's like, we're
It
not,
had to be
we're
done.
We're not going to surrender our society to this delusion.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
There you go.
it
That's
is.
very well
It
put.
is.
We dug our heels in, and there was a lot of bipartisan support for it. It was
Yeah.
mostly Democrats that were against it, but there were a number of Democrats that stayed with us, and it's.
I mean, they got granddaughters and children and everything else. I mean, they could see where that could go off the rails real fast.
Yeah.
Look, our
Start getting
daughters
dudes in
were basketball
bathrooms.
players, and they were really good. One of them got a college scholarship; they could go, but they couldn't play with boys.
That's right. Yeah.
That's like the swimmer that fought,
Oh, yeah, Bradley
against.
Gaines.
Yes. I mean, she worked so hard for that.
Yep.
And then to have this just completely just the whole thing, him being in the locker room, it's just, come
that's
on.
insane.
What
That's
are we doing?
absolutely
I just
insane.
seen the other day a lady, she has a Planet Fitness membership. Well, she goes in the locker room and there's a guy, undressed, fully undressed, but
Crazy.
he's a woman, They kicked her out.
Yes.
And I was like, what
Oh,
are
'cause
we
she said
doing?
something.
Because she caused a ruckus about
Right.
it, but I would have too.
Yeah.
Because, if that was me and my daughter, no, I'm not. Close
Yeah.
your eyes.
Yeah.
But, they kick her out. And I'm like, what are we doing?
I don't
What are
know,
we
man.
doing?
That's why I say burn it down and start over.
There's a desire to collapse Western civilization.
Thank you.
This is part of it.
Because it would absolutely
Getting us-
collapse
and
on
getting
that
us, getting us
track,
out of oil
yeah.
and gas is also part of this.
Thank you.
This is all part.
That's what I'm saying. It
of a
all
larger
ties
thing
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
to destroy Western civilization.
If people honestly would just, and I beg our listeners, take the time to connect the dots. Like,
Right.
what one thing is going on over here, I promise you, is connected to this.
Yeah.
You just need to do the research to connect it.
Get a big board.
Get a big whiteboard
Whiteboard and start
scribble
your-
all over it.
Start,
Yeah.
start your strings going everywhere.
Mr. Owen,
promise
I
you.
have a question.
Okay.
You keep talking about the bills go to the committee. We've mentioned the committee. For the listeners that don't understand, the committee is made up of legislatures.
Yep.
The committees are appointed by the
Speaker of the House
Speaker of the House.
in full control.
And the committees are divvied up based on the bills. So, in other words, environmental,
Would take environmental
social,
cases.
financial.
The bills, the committees are created based on functional areas of government. There's one that's for criminal law. There's one that's for civil law. There's one that's for education.
Thank you.
There's one for natural resources. There's
So
12 or
each bill
13.
would fall under
It would,
that
when
category.
a bill is introduced, the speaker then determines what committee it goes to. Like the ones Representative Johnson introduced the other day will all go to natural resources. My plebiscite bill, I'm hopeful, will go to civil law because it is much bigger than just natural resources.
Right.
So that's how it works, and the speaker determines like 15 or 16, and like most average legislators, like I'm on 3 committees. I'm on one on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and so 16 people, 1 chairman, 1 vice chairman, and majority rules in those committee. And
Okay.
if the bill, if you get a majority at the committee hearing, then it moves to the full House where 105 people will vote. And then if it wins that, it goes to the Senate, to a Senate committee, and then to the full Senate. If it gets through all of that, then it goes to the governor for signature.
Wow.
It's got to go
seems-
through
That's a
so
lot.
much.
So
Yeah.
5 processes.
Yeah.
When the committee's meeting, is that closed door?
It's
Can
all open
lobbyists-
door.
It's
Ab-
all-
Oh,
so
okay.
You can come. You can come.
Public
we can
can sit
all come.
in,
These
okay.
are all publicly open to the public. You can come in person. You can watch online.
Ooh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Every bit of it. There's no closed door. If closed door meetings are happening, they're against the rules.
Right,
It's
because
against the law.
we don't know what's said behind closed doors.
That's right. That is
yeah.
against the law. Now,
Wow.
parties do things like I will be at a Republican delegation meeting on Friday. Not open to the public, but we're not doing government business per se. We're not doing legislative
Right,
business.
right.
We're doing party things. But if there is a majority of people from that house that are together or that committee, like if there's 16 people on that committee, if a quorum is 12, if 12 of those people are ever in a room, it's got to be a public meeting. It can't be kick everybody out. We're having
Yeah.
they don't have executive session meetings. Let me tell you something else interesting about government. Y'all need to, in case y'all ever need help with something. If you ever see a governmental body around here or anywhere else like that, says they're going into executive session, they can, but I can go into any of them. I can go into a legislator because of state business.
Yeah.
Because of state business, and if they're tied to the state, like I've butted in on a couple of
It's
LSUs.
impertinent for you to know what's being
we
said.
have oversight because we allocate money and we are the legislature. And so I have butted into some executive session meetings and made people mad.
Nice.
I went into
Like, they wish I wasn't there.
They did. I went into an executive session meeting at the LSU Board of Supervisors and made them mad as hell. And then they said, "You can't come in here." And I said, "This law says I can't."
Well,
They were about to fire someone that didn't need to be fired.
So you saved the day, in essence, huh?
He wound up getting fired, but I made them mad. About a year later, they were going to fire someone in the Department of Education that I did stop.
They were like, "Oh wait, Chuck Owen might be behind the door."
Well, I bring friends.
That's nice.
So
yeah.
that's kind of the process. And what the legislature does is open to the public.
That's good to know.
There are no secrets.
I mean, to be honest, I would love to go sit in to. I would
Yeah.
just
Or
love
get
just
online.
to watch it.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah,
should come.
yeah.
Y'all should come.
We need to do that.
Because I feel
And
like we all need to learn. The
Come do a
flow of
podcast from there.
things.
There you
Come
go.
do a podcast.
Yes.
We'll take that up
Take
after
the
our
table,
break.
set it.
And let's take a break real quick, and then we'll be back in just a second talking more with Mr. Chuck Owens.
Whenever you're ready to be bold, it's time for Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor. Call 337-404-1703. Find them on Facebook or book your appointment through Vagaroo. Whether it's a beautiful cut, the perfect color, or just a fresh update, Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor has you covered. They're right behind Domino's in Leesville at 1614 South 5th Street. And remember, be good to your hair. You wear it every single day. That's Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor in Leesville. Call 337-404-1703 today.
Let's be honest, you don't want to spend money in a business that smells like an armpit or a dipsty dumpster. Here at Leesville Tattoo, we keep the shop smelling great with the help of Christie's candles. They're so strong, we rarely light them. We just open the lids and let them do their magic. Do your nose and your company a favor. Open some of Christie's candles around your place and make living peaceful a priority. Christie's candles available exclusively at Leesville Tattoos.
Carrie Joe Photo Co. is the only choice when you're serious about preserving those special moments that only happen once in a lifetime. Weddings, engagements, graduations, grand openings, organizations, and events. Carrie Joe Photo Co. are the professionals. Need your event filmed? At Carrie Joe Photo Co., it's not a problem. With hundreds of special events, thousands of painstaking creative hours, and millions of beautiful moments and memories captured, Carrie Joe Photo Co. has all the experience you require when nothing less than the best will do. 337-591-1748. 337-591-1748. Carrie Joe Photo Co. on social media and kmphotoandfilm.com. Don't wait till it's too late to preserve your moment forever with Carrie Joe Photo Co. 337-591-1748 and kmphotoandfilm.com. That's Carrie Joe Photo Co.
Hey y'all, it's Carrie Joe, and welcome to the Truth Serum. Life is loud, messy, and a little crazy sometimes, and too often it feels like nobody's really hearing us. Like we're talking, but the world's not listening. On top of that, we're surrounded by negativity that tears us down when what we really need is more honesty, more support, and more real conversations that lift us up. So that's what we're doing here. The subjects that feel too dark or off limits, we're talking about them. Those uncomfortable moments you found yourself in and thought, I can't be the only one, we're talking about it. The dangerous, the taboo, the things people would rather sweep under the rug, we're talking about those too. Unfiltered, unashamed, unapologetic, and authentic. This is where the truth lives and where we can finally say the things we've been holding back. So pull up a chair, hit play, and let's talk about it on the Truth Serum with Carrie Joe.
Welcome back into Leesville Tattoos and Views. We've got some great guests with us tonight, one of which is Mr. Chuck Owen's wife. And behind every great man, they say there is a great woman. You guys have not only lived a life of purpose, you guys have lived an adventure. So what I'd like you to do, Mr. Chuck, is introduce an amazing woman who just happens to be your wife.
Well, thank you. She is an amazing woman. We have been married 34 years. Carolyn is a native of Leesville like me. As people can tell when they look at her, she's a lot younger than me.
Yeah.
She is
Not a day over 35, right? She's like, yep.
We found each other at a wedding here. I was off in the Air Force, and I had known who she was growing up. She was like I said, several years younger than me, and I'd come back here from leave. By that point, she was in college, and we went to a mutual friend's wedding, and I went, oh, my goodness, that girl grew up. She's old enough to ask out now. So I saw her walking across a parking lot, and all I could do was lean on a horn. I saw that was my entry line. So
Smooth.
And so
smooth.
Couple of years.
What's that?
A couple of years later, she proposed. And we've had a really good life and got 2 grown daughters. And God allowed us to move back here to Leesville 11 years ago. We traveled the world in the Air Force, and time came and we were able to come back. And so we're back in our hometown and happier than we thought we could be.
I know y'all are definitely a family of faith. So, Ms. Carolyn, let me ask you, with all your adventures all over the world with this guy, what would you say the most challenging part is being married to him?
Oh, boy.
He's like, let me excuse myself.
Outside of doing laundry and that kind of thing, what would you say the most challenging part is being married to Chuck?
It's not really a challenge at all. He's very kind. He works really hard to try to make me happy.
Right.
So that I have to try to make sure I do the same for him. Mm-hmm. He is kind of messy and very sticky. So that
Sticky.
Yeah,
That's my kind of guy.
if there's syrup or anything like that involved, I feel it all day. But that's my biggest challenge. He's very good, and he is the man you see.
Right. What you see is what you get. Mm-hmm. And I've definitely come to know that, which is why I'm so glad you are representing us. What is your favorite memory of all the years? Every place you've been, all the people you've met, everything you've done.
Oh, that's hard. He's taken me on so many good adventures.
It's hard to narrow down.
It is hard to narrow it down. I think one of my most favorite times, though, we got to live in Germany, and our children were little, and that let me stay home and be the mom and just see them run to the door when he would come home. He was gone a whole lot, though. We got to Germany and left, and then we were there still, and he traveled a lot. But just getting to make our family, and that's kind of where it felt like Germany.
That's such a beautiful thing to come home and, your kids are so excited to see your husband.
Yes.
That's just, I love it every day.
Yes. So that was just kind of a formation moment where we became, okay, we're here together. Mm-hmm. This is all we got. until we meet other friends.
This is
Right.
us. Yeah, this is
Right.
it. We better like each other.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I do know the challenges of being a military family, and obviously with Chuck being an officer was probably gone quite a bit. So that left you as a, a parent to run the household and all that, and being overseas. You don't know a lot of people. You don't have a lot of family and that sort of thing. So were things like the Officers' Wives Club, and was that sort of things you got into, or did you?
Yes.
Sort of,
And we were in a stairwell with 23 other families.
We got real close.
Each
huh?
stairwell had
memories, yeah.
at least what 8 times 3, 24. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was just one building, and then several across the parking lot.
Right.
So we had a good mixture of tight friends that would walk across, knock on the door. They'd come over and help me out,
Right.
unload groceries, just everything. But the Officers' Wives group was very busy there, and it gave me a lot of good preparation for legislative wives.
Well, that was going to be my next question. How was it going from being a military wife into being a politician's wife?
It was,
And I preface that by saying I hate to call Chuck a politician because he's
but it's
really,
just the different
Right.
groups and gatherings. And so the military prepared me very well.
yeah.
So they made a well-rounded individual.
I hope so, but I've enjoyed what we get to do and get to meet people.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want this podcast to go by without people getting to know a little bit about you
Well,
and the
thank you.
woman behind the man. And like I said before, behind every great man, there's a great woman. And you can't really do life alone. You have two hands, two eyes, two ears. It's just natural that a woman and a man complete
Oh,
each
yeah.
other.
Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted them to, get to hear your voice and get to kind of know
What's
a little bit.
the old saying? The man is the head of the house, but the woman's the neck. So we turn the head. We turn the head however we want it to go.
There you go.
Yes. Well, thank you, Cody.
Well,
and
no,
everybody.
Miss Carolyn, and if you have any final thoughts, anything you'd like to say, anything about Chuck that we don't know that you'd like everyone to know?
Wow.
He looked at her like, don't.
You tell them about the boots.
Oh, well, what's that?
Real quick
Yeah.
story yesterday morning.
Yeah.
There was a guy, a carpenter, asked me to come down to DeRitter, have breakfast with him because he's a home builder and he's tired of being shaken down by bad inspection. Paradigms and stuff. So
Right.
he and I are working on this, and he was telling me some terrible things. And it's not really, it wasn't an early morning for me. I get up in the morning anyway, but I wouldn't really pay attention yesterday morning. She'd given me some new boots. I put them on. I went down there, and I came back. And I've been down there 3 hours, and I came back. She said, "Your boots are on backwards."
Oh, no.
I mean, my feet are pointing.
He said left was right, right was left. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if people saw
that's
me.
another challenge.
They're
I
thinking,
usually have
"Look
to
at
make
this."
sure he matches. Or,
Because he's so bent on, like, let me get the
He is
word
just
out.
on
He's
the
just
task.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
And it reminded me of a military event I had once. I was a lieutenant, and we had gone on a deployment over to Germany, actually, from our unit in Texas. And the NCOs love to play tricks on lieutenants, and they gave me 2 left boots for my chem gear. So for a month, I'm walking around with 2 left boots.
Like, I'm going this way.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Built character,
Yeah,
right?
it was fun. It was fun.
That's good
Wardrobe
stuff.
can be a challenge. Yes.
When you were decided to get in the race, Mr. Dumas had asked me on the air one time, who I preferred to vote for, and I explained to him. I said I felt like both candidates were strong conservative candidates, but I was going to vote for you specifically because you were prior service. I know there's a worldly view, but you and your wife could have chose to live anywhere. You could have settled down anywhere in the world, and you came here. And I felt like, okay, you've got a vested interest, and I really appreciate the integrity you bring to the office, listening to your constituents, voting
The honesty. It's just
for your
raw
constituents,
honesty.
despite the pressure you're receiving from Baton Rouge, the party, the governor's office, the lobby, whoever it may be, trying to influence to get their agenda across. You stay in constant contact with your constituents. I really, really appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you for saying that. I intend to, that I take this job very seriously. When I make a mistake, I try to own up to it, and I try to do my best every day. I do not
love
skip
that.
work. I do not skip work.
Yeah.
Look, I have colleagues that don't come. I mean, I don't skip anything. I volunteered for this. I get paid $1,100 a month. I'm going to get my money's worth. I can promise you.
Tell you what.
If you break that down, that's like cents an hour.
Exactly. He probably does just want to break it down.
Making
He's like,
17 cents an hour.
Do me a favor and don't break it down. Yeah. Because I'll probably be sick.
Well, we thank you too. You're better paid.
Yes. Sorry we couldn't do more.
Miss Carolyn's going, you know how much more he could be making? Yeah.
You're a good woman.
And just so you know, Mr. Chuck wears a lot of hats. In my world, I know him in a broadcasting hat. That's how I'm most familiar with him, which is
Y'all
why
do
he's so good at
sports.
this. He does sports,
Okay.
and I listen to him.
He said he does that. Not me.
Yeah, not me. So that's where I know him. But he's also a teacher and an educator and a retiree and a politician and a father and
The list goes on.
Yeah, he wears so many hats.
An author.
An author. Yeah, published author.
But every
so
one of those hats give you such an insight to what you do with the public. Like, I feel like each one of those hats give you, more intel with what the public wants, what they don't, where they're swayed, where they're not. Like, I thank you for doing all those things, honestly.
And the books that I've written and the things that I have done there I didn't mean it to be that way, but it was because I'm writing history books around things around here, and then I learn things and I meet people, and then when you connect with people and their history, their family's history,
Yeah.
you have a hard time not becoming friends or not respecting each other or understanding each other more.
Yeah.
Like the book I wrote a couple of years ago on the integration of the black schools. That story had never been told.
Right.
They had a state championship team there in the 60s. No one had ever recorded it. It was all campfire legend.
Yeah.
And the black community felt really ignored.
Suppressed by
They were
that,
ignored
yeah.
by it. They were ambushed by it. And,
Yeah.
And
You said, let me tell this story.
yeah, because it was a good story.
Yeah.
It was a good story.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful to God for the ability to do those things and the interest to do them. Look, I can't fix a car. I
You
use
said,
I use the wrong end of a
Give me
screwdriver
a
two
pen
out
and
of 3
paper
times.
and I'm
I'm
gold.
not. That's not my skill set. So
yeah.
thank y'all for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Miss Carolyn, is there any hat you wish he didn't wear?
Oh,
No.
No, she loves every one of them.
She's just glad he's not working on her car.
Let him work on what he does best. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts, Mr. Chuck, before we let you get out of here?
No, thank y'all for doing free speech.
Yes.
I hope people hear this and are thankful that we can do this. And there's no slug going to come through the door and tell us to shut our mouths.
So
Amen.
nice. Yes.
Yeah.
We need to embrace freedom. We need to really embrace other people's freedom, especially the ones we don't agree with.
Absolutely.
And let everyone talk. Let's all sort it out. And let's all stay free.
I agree.
Yep.
And
You
that-
asked me the other day you asked me how we would start a conversation with people that were not woke to, per se, what we're woke to.
Right.
And I told you, like, keeping your mind open, because I want to hear why you feel the way you feel, because it may, I don't know, I may have never thought that way, so like keeping your mind open and talking to people, even though you may not agree. We can agree to disagree sometimes, but like talking to everybody, keeping it open, I think is so important. I mean, don't have a closed mind.
And we say this every podcast, and I absolutely mean it. We welcome differing opinions. We're not going
love
to
it,
attack
yeah.
you. We're not going to
No,
beat you
no.
up. We want to hear what you have to say. And we've invited people on the podcast that I think have turned us down because they're afraid that,
We're not The View.
No,
Yeah,
we're
not going
we're
to
not talking
dismantle
heads.
you. Yeah,
no, we
no.
want to hear what
Yeah,
you have to say.
yeah.
Come change our mind. We're open. We're decent, rational human beings. We're not going to beat you up for your beliefs. We're not going to try and tear you down.
That's the beauty of discussion,
Right.
And I think that people forget, like, you can have a heated discussion and you can still leave as friends.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
you can, it's
Absolutely.
I disagree
I wish
with
more
you,
more
but
people in the public realm that are public servants would actually open up and be able to feel comfortable
yeah,
coming to a situation like this to where they can actually get their voice out, explain their views, why they do it, and then try to get some feedback and some bounce off
Yeah.
of real people in the dirt that are just out here scratching a living
yeah,
and trying to get by, but they have enough sense to have a concern for their children's future and their own future of their own state to have a say to a person that, hey, this is something we need to
yeah.
talk
Like,
about.
how do you
Yeah.
feel about
You know?
this? Let's get that conversation
and
started.
find out why they're doing what they're doing and how hard some of the processes is that you've explained tonight. I would have never have known that.
No,
I thought
yeah.
this was, it's probably second nature to you because you do it every day, but to talk to somebody like me, like I thought I knew what was going on and how the legislative process works, but it seems to me like that's really complicated.
It's a stairwell.
Well,
Like, you gotta go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are good reasons it is hard because you want to have plenty of debate. You want to make sure you get it right
I
the
agree.
best you can.
That's the good thing about debate
Some-
is everybody's going to talk
sometimes-
about it. Yeah.
Sometimes you miss, and then you have to go back and change. I mean, like
To hit it home. Yeah.
the whole thing of the carbon thing, it slid through without a question
Yeah.
because it was like, oh, we're in the middle of COVID, people are dying, we're going to help the oil and gas industry. Do this, okay, okay, yeah. This
And
guy
now
says
we're
it.
here.
And
Yeah.
so now it's like it didn't even really get the process. It did. It format did, but there's other bills like I had a bill a couple of years ago. We're doing on birth certificates. It lasted all 3 months,
Wow.
and
Oh
I
my
got
God.
completely. It was a great lesson in debate and civil discourse and changing minds with logic. And that's really the best kind is when you really get in there and you dig in and everyone listens. Because when I started this, they told me you'll never get that passed. They'll never
You
get
start
passed.
digging
It's
and
been
getting
tried
different
5 or 6 times.
opinions.
It won't even get out of a committee. It won't even get out of the House. And we just kept moving. And we were winning with reason.
Right.
We were winning with
Because you're
truth.
explaining it and people are
And
understanding.
real people were coming and talking about their lives, and that's what gave me the confidence a year ago to do what I did, and why I still have the confidence. Say, if given a chance to explain, I believe the legislators will listen.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Chuck. As polarized and tribal as the country is right now, are you finding that it's like that in Baton Rouge as well? I mean, can you talk to the other side rationally, or are there some that
I'm
are
gonna
just
be honest
dug
with
in?
you, I don't even know
and-
what the other side is anymore.
Right.
It was very different. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that. It was very different when we had a Democrat governor.
Right.
Because that was very easy. You got a very powerful party, and there's about 40 members of the House, and then the rest of us were all Republicans.
Right.
Right now, when you have a governor where you don't know where he stands,
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have a lot
It's-
of people
it's
who don't know where they
obscure.
stand,
it's
right?
everything is like, I don't know where I stand in some ways. I can't even get the governor to talk to me right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what
Yeah.
blew my mind is we elected a majority conservative
majority.
House,
Yeah.
conservative Senate,
But yeah.
a conservative governor, and then all of a sudden we've got
Nothing
Well, we're getting the
Cleo
conservative.
same
Field
thing.
districts.
Yeah.
We've got a globalist,
There is
left-wing,
nothing.
Green
There was
New
nothing
Deal agenda.
conservative about
It's
the way he's moving.
Well, it doesn't
yeah.
mess with the
Disappointing.
bowling
Very,
ball
very
theory is what
disappointing.
I always say is like going bowling. And so you bowl the ball and you think that you got a shot, right? You might go in the gutter, you might hit a strike, you might hit one pin. But eventually the ball is going to keep on rolling down that thing, and that's what these people do. Is they're in it for the long game. When they bowl that ball, they know the eventual goal is going to get reached. No matter if we cry about it, we try to vote
It will
different
get
ways.
down to this.
It's going to get
yeah,
down to
it'll get down to where
it's
it
gonna
needs
get
to.
down there,
yeah.
and they're going to get
Whether
what they
we
want.
knock a pin down
Right.
or we hit a gutter ball,
Yeah.
it's getting down there.
Yep.
Yeah, I do get that.
No, it's a different dynamic. I would say that the governor has gotten about 95% of the things right, but the things that they have shifted on, it's confused those of us who are, I would say, I don't want to say purists, but really staunch conservatives.
Right,
Yeah.
conservative.
And,
yeah,
and it's complicated. It's
Yeah.
very complicated.
makes you sit and wonder, like, Do you know what conservatism is?
Well,
Or integrity
Or
sometimes.
integrity,
Yeah,
or
that's huge.
morals, yes.
yeah, ethics
Being
and
principled.
Yeah,
moral,
ethics,
yeah.
truth,
Have
morality, yeah.
Well, and I can say because I've seen Chuck's frustration firsthand, so I know,
You
I
can see the
kinda know.
frustration in the voters. I mean,
Well,
it doesn't take
yeah.
long to be online, and you can see people are aggravated, they're upset, they're frustrated, they're confused. In a healthy democratic republic, there should be nothing off the table. You should be able to bring ideas, no matter how absurd, how ridiculous, how far fetched, and let the best ideas
When?
rise to the surface. But when you're trying to suppress voices and you're trying to suppress
And push
ideas,
through what you want, yeah.
you're going to wind up with a bad outcome.
Because, I mean, it starts with the people. It just does. Like,
It should.
It should. No,
I don't think
that is
CCS
correct.
started with the people.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It was like,
No, that's
I
part
have
of the
this
corporatocracy.
idea. We're going to push it through.
they're not
The
gonna
people
say
will deal
anything.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you're dealing with us.
Yeah.
All right, Chuck. So when are we getting our Mondami free buses? With that, we're going to wrap it up for this edition of Leesville Tattoos and Views. Thank you, Mr. Chuck. I appreciate
Thank
you
you,
being
sir.
here,
Thank
guys.
you.
Mr.
Appreciate
Owen,
it.
thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Miss Carolyn, thank you.
Whenever you're ready to be bold, it's time for Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor. Call 337-404-1703. Find them on Facebook or book your appointment through Vagaroo. Whether it's a beautiful cut, the perfect color, or just a fresh update, Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor has you covered. They're right behind Domino's in Leesville at 1614 South 5th Street. And remember, be good to your hair. You wear it every single day. That's Magnolia Lane Beauty Parlor in Leesville. Call 337-404-1703 today.
Let's be honest, you don't want to spend money in a business that smells like an armpit or a dipsty dumpster. Here at Leesville Tattoo, we keep the shop smelling great with the help of Christie's candles. They're so strong, we rarely light them. We just open the lids and let them do their magic. Do your nose and your company a favor. Open some of Christie's candles around your place and make living peaceful a priority. Christie's candles available exclusively at Leesville Tattoos.
Carrie Joe Photo Co. is the only choice when you're serious about preserving those special moments that only happen once in a lifetime. Weddings, engagements, graduations, grand openings, organizations, and events. Carrie Joe Photo Co. are the professionals. Need your event filmed? At Carrie Joe Photo Co., it's not a problem. With hundreds of special events, thousands of painstaking creative hours, and millions of beautiful moments and memories captured, Carrie Joe Photo Co. has all the experience you require when nothing less than the best will do. 337-591-1748. 337-591-1748. Carrie Joe Photo Co. on social media and kmphotoandfilm.com. Don't wait till it's too late to preserve your moment forever with Carrie Joe Photo Co. 337-591-1748 and kmphotoandfilm.com. That's Carrie Joe Photo Co.
Hey y'all, it's Carrie Jo, and welcome to the Truth Serum. Life is loud, messy, and a little crazy sometimes, and too often it feels like nobody's really hearing us. Like we're talking, but the world's not listening. On top of that, we're surrounded by negativity that tears us down when what we really need is more honesty, more support, and more real conversations that lift us up. So that's what we're doing here. The subjects that feel too dark or off limits, we're talking about them. Those uncomfortable moments you found yourself in and thought, I can't be the only one, we're talking about it. The dangerous, the taboo, the things people would rather sweep under the rug, we're talking about those too. Unfiltered, unashamed, unapologetic, and authentic. This is where the truth lives and where we can finally say the things we've been holding back. So pull up a chair, hit play, and let's talk about it on the Truth Serum with Carrie Jo.